I was like, but yeah. And then speaking of Grand Tetons, though, when I went out to Yellowstone back in the day, back in like, God, I went right out of college, so 2005 or six. Me and the Tim, who's normally here, him and I and his brother, we just went out for 2 weeks. We just drove out, went through, South Dakota, Minnesota, South Dakota, whatever, into Cody, Wyoming, and then into Yellowstone. And dude,
Hmm.
when you're someone that comes from Michigan, Detroit area that we live in, not Detroit, but the region, and you go to like Yellowstone, even though I was a hunter my whole life, I was not prepared for what I experienced there. I mean, that is like, I don't even know. Like I saw a grizzly bear, I almost died. I mean, it was crazy, man. Like all in one day. Saw like mountain lion in one day, a wolf pack. I mean, I never seen so many animals in my life. And that was all in one day. And the
Yeah.
worst part is when we got there, this is really interesting. When we got there was all these tents. People had tents, but they were like military grade style tents. And I remember looking out and thinking, man, that's really above my level. They're like tight. Like you could tell like something was different about it. It was like, and then these guys pull out this Coleman tent. And I'm like, dude, I'm telling you guys, something's not right here. I just have an intuition. I'm a hunter. They weren't hunters at the time. And I'm like, I'm telling you, these people know something we don't know. I mean, why would they have all these top grade tents and you got this Coleman from Walmart? I mean, it doesn't work that way. So anyway, I'm like, I'm sleeping in the car. So I told him, and I swear to God, dude, the storm came through that night. The next thing you saw, Tim was banging on the car door at like 2 a.m. It was pouring. And I'm like, where are you going to go? I can't open the door. He was so mad at me. There was nowhere to go. It was all luggage all the way around me. So he goes, next thing I know, I wake up in the morning. I look and the tent is gone. It's like on the ground, and all you see is a silhouette of bodies laying under. Then I see after about 15 minutes, I see a movement, and I see Tim crawl out, and I got a picture of him holding his holding his sleeping bag, and it's pouring water. Oh my God! And then Tony was on a mound, and there's a river all around him, like he was just on a mound on a hill. Because oh my God, dude. And then that was the first night. The second night it snowed like 2 feet. Like the next night, I'm like, oh my God, this place is crazy.
Was this in May or June?
Yes, it was in May.
Yeah.
Yeah, it
Uh-huh.
was insane. But we did. Is the Grand Tetons, is that part of Jackson Hole area or no?
It's right there. Yeah. Jackson
Okay.
Hole, Grand Tetons, like they touch each other.
Okay, so
So
we saw that. Yeah, we went to Jackson Hole at one
yeah.
point during that trip, and we had breakfast somewhere there. It was really cool wherever we were. And I remember someone saying that's the Grand Tetons or something. I don't know, but that's why I was like, I think I saw those.
Yeah.
But
Probably one of my favorite places on earth in the Grand Tetons. Jenny Lake's a big lake people do, and they do a hike around it, but there's another lake connected to it called String Lake. And we go paddleboarding there, and it's so clear, like Tahoe clear, and just quiet. And the other day, another family that's staying at our RV park, they're like, "Hey, we were out there. We saw a mama black bear and a cub just
wow,
playing 30 feet away from them on the bank." And then
jeez,
we had some other friends another time this summer. They said they saw a grizzly out there too, whether it was grizzly or a black bear that was, brown, but still, it's awesome. And
can you
we
guys
went
see bison out there?
yeah, in Yellowstone. Um, and then actually in Swan Valley, it's funny, there's a guy that has a bunch
Huh?
just on the property.
Does he
But
like? Are they like wild, or are they like where you eat some type thing?
I don't know what he does with them. I guess I should find out.
Because there's
But
buffalo here in Michigan. Actually, they're on farms
oh,
that are feed farms.
Yeah, we had
I
a big
saw
cow
one.
farm by our house, and I'd always drive by. It was
Oh
500
my
inch.
God.
yeah.
Yeah. We're not used to seeing elk out here, so that's why we do have an elk population here though. It's very small. 300 elk, I think, total. And you have to get a permit to hunt them. It takes like a lifetime to get it. And you only get one. And so so we don't really do it very often. It's not something that, people do. And I think they like to keep that number down because it's,
Right.
it's just Michigan's not, it's all flat, it's not like
Yeah.
um so
We
have
had a
you
guy
spent time in Custer State Park?
a day we did. It was awesome.
Yeah, we went to Custard. So Kevin he had a class A at the time, like the bus style, and it was a real nice one. He bought it new. And he really wanted, like, one of his things he wanted to do was take his family, out to, and this is my father-in-law wanted to take the family out to Custer State Park, South Dakota for like a week. So I had to work at the time. So basically, like, my wife, the kids, him and my mother-in-law, they took the RV. Um, I met them at some point. I flew into South Dakota. I met them at South Dakota. They picked me up at the Black Hills area. And then we went into Custard. Somehow we went through the Badlands. I don't know. Maybe I don't remember where they picked me up now. Thinking about it. And then we went to the Badlands, saw that, then into the park. But that was a great experience, man. That park was really cool. I
Yeah.
thoroughly enjoyed it. We went to the city of Custard, and that was cool too. I mean, it was like I felt like I was in the movie Tombstone. It was so cool. I'm like, this is awesome. It was fun, and I saw bison there as well, and ton of other animals, man. It was a really wild place.
Yeah, we were pumped about Badlands too. I didn't know what to expect when we went, but it's so awesome. Just like randomly, it's like a little Bryce Canyon Moab, but different. And so that was awesome.
Yeah, we stayed in Custer. We stayed in this RV park, kind of like what you're talking about, like a private owned RV park. And apparently, wherever this park was where Custard and his men actually stayed when they were there, like, fighting the Indians back in the day. And so they would like hunt and roam that area. So it's pretty cool because I went for a walk through these trails, and like I didn't see anything or anything, but I just remember thinking, like, that's so strange, like that long ago, soldiers were walking down these trails I'm walking right now, looking for game, right, with these muskets. And I just thought, man, this is pretty cool.
Today's episode is brought to you by Sig Sauer, keeping you safe in and out of the field, but also keeping you in the field longer with Sig's lineup of cross rifles, optics, ammo, and more. Learn all about it at sigsauer.com. Also brought to you by Tinks, Dead Downwind, Burris, Vapor Trail, Stokerized,
Arizona Archery Enterprises,
Apex Rewards in Easton.
Last year, Reveal by Tacticam quickly became the most sought-after scouting camera in America, making cellular scouting available to any hunter. We ask our users how we can make this outstanding camera even better, and this is our answer. Introducing the all-new Reveal X. Even easier setup, better battery life, faster trigger speed, on-demand HD photos, extended detection range. This season, find out what all the buzz is about. Get a new Reveal X by Tacticam.
So have you had a chance to, I'm assuming the answer is yes, but Acadia National Park?
Yeah. We went there, we got there like September, and then
well, that's nice. September probably been nice in the fall.
Oh, it was awesome. We got there and had just missed like the crazy crowd that, and then because everyone would go there for the fall, but then we ended up just following the East Coast down until we got to South Carolina in like December, and then decided so that was the longest fall I've ever experienced. It was awesome. Just every time we went further south, the colors were vibrant. That's what we did.
Oh, that's cool. Yeah. So we just got back from Acadia, and it was a pretty bad experience. I'm not gonna lie. It was fog after fog after fog, and there was no animals. I saw a chipmunk.
Sending pictures. I'm like, are you in the movie Break?
I saw a dead chipmunk. I'm like, dude, what is going on? Like,
dead?
This place is
Oh, yeah.
crazy.
It's like Ireland or
It
something.
was so weird. And I just remember thinking, like, I was so excited to go on this trip. Like, we've been planning this for like a year and a half. And we went to like, this is like a road trip for us. And then Kevin met us out there with his RV, which now he has a Class C. He downgraded to a Class C. And we met him at in New York. We stopped at the Finger Lakes, which was really, really nice. I really enjoyed that. And then from there, my wife and me and the kids went to Massachusetts, and then we went to Salem, which was really cool. I love Halloween, so I was like, this place is freaking awesome. The witch trials, got to see all that. But then we went to Boston, and then we stayed in the city. We got a hotel in the city, and that was a great experience. Went to a Fenway Park game, went to the aquarium. And then from there, we drove to Maine, and then we stopped in some city town, which I don't know the name of it, but it was really cool. It was like, that was the coolest part. It was sunny, beautiful day, and it was on the coast. I don't know what it was, but then we had to drive another 3 hours to get to Acadia. I remember that, because like, dude, this is going to take forever. And then we got to Acadia, and the cool part was the campground was a private campground, same concept. Someone owns it. The guy who owns it was there. He put on a lobster dinner, which was really good experience. So they cooked fresh lobster right in front of you, put a whole lobster in front of you. And, that was the coolest part, to be honest. And after that, it got to like, all right, let's go see some animals. And it was just like fog, no animals. And then even like the cliffs and stuff, like I wasn't with like Jamie or anybody I could go do these trails with, there's all these walking trails that you're supposed to be able to go on. And I'm like, I can't go on that by myself. Like, what if I break my ankle or something, like I'm not gonna, that's a little risky. I don't want to take my kids, that's even more risky. I can't, so didn't really get to do much, not gonna lie. And then on the way home, we stopped in Massachusetts. That was cool.
Yeah.
I'm sorry, New Hampshire.
No, I was saying, when we were there in Maine, it was super foggy also, but I think we were just like going into it knowing like, oh, it's going to be fall. But then as we got further south, just gorgeous.
Yeah, fall would have been cool. That would have been cool. And I like, and then we went to, on the way out, her uncle lives in New Hampshire, and so we stopped at his place. He lives in a ski resort in the White Mountains.
Oh,
and that was great. Yeah, that was a really good experience. Kevin, we had his RV parked at this park that was about 15 minutes from his brother, and there was a river went right behind it. Like, I mean, 6 feet off his camper bumper was the river. It was so cool. And it was all woods. It was the coolest. And, and the funny part is we looked up reviews on the campground, and it was like on one website, it was a 2-star rating. So I'm giving them crap at the other campground. I'm like, oh, we're going to a 2-star rating. This is going to be a trash bin. What are we going into here? And he's like, what? I looked it up and it was like 4-star, blah, blah, blah. So I'm looking at it. It says 2-star. I'm looking at the reviews. A lot of it had to do with
no stores, not enough.
This one had to do with cleanliness of the bathrooms, a lot of the negative reviews, but we don't use the bathroom. We have an RV. We don't even think, like, you and I have a camper with bathrooms. We don't think of it like that. I don't ever even. So anyway, long story short, it was a 5 out of 5. It was absolutely amazing. Like, it was one of the coolest campgrounds. I'm like, this thing is really cool. It was, I can't explain. It's just that nice. Like, I was like, this is, better than anything we had done, because you think you park this camper, you're in the woods, there's no sun hitting it, you're not sweating, it's not, the camper's cold. And
that's what I like.
It's awesome. Not wide open,
not the stacked on everything.
No, this was not like that. This was not like that. No, you would have loved this. It would have been probably an easy back end. Do you guys have to back yours in very often?
Yeah, probably 50-50.
Yeah, I think we're 50-50 too.
Yeah.
Not terrible. I mean, you got a big one though. Yours would be a little more. But although you could turn on a dime, right? Because you got that fifth wheel.
Yeah, it does a really good job. Actually, one of the first campgrounds we stayed at was a back end that was super tight. And everyone watches when you pull in an RV park.
Oh yeah.
And all of a sudden your skill's gone and your communication.
Especially you got a big one. You're like, oh, what's he gonna do?
Yeah. And legit, this guy came up and he's like, he actually handled it super well. He's like, hey, we come here every holidays for the last 20 years. It's like, if you don't mind, I could back it in for you. And I was like, done. Just because it was like the third go. And then his daughter comes out to guide him in. And she was just getting him so close to like trees. And there was a trash can too. And I was like, and she's like, don't worry, I got this. They parked it perfectly in one shot. And I was like, okay, I got to go practice. So we did that after. And now it's much better. But next time I back in, it'll probably be hard because I say it's easy now.
That's funny. I've been purposely, I have reasons to bring my camper home. Generally, we live in the city, but we have an RV park we park it at. I back it in each time. So is Jamie. But lately, I've had reasons to put my camper in my driveway. So, for instance, like we just got back from a camping trip, and then this week I'm getting new tires put on. So I was like, well, I'm just gonna bring it back to my house. And then I'm trying to put a new fan system in the top, or I don't know if you've seen. You might already have these because you have a nicer one, but like ours has a little fan, a tiny one in the bathroom. I'm gonna swap that with a 14-inch bigger fan. It's like this big, and it's got exhaust and pull-in. I'm like, dude, that's awesome. Like, what? Why don't they offer me these things when I bought the camper? I would have just said yes, check me off.
I'm sure they do for $2,000.
Well, I'm sure it'd have been a lot, but so anyways, I'm gonna redo the fan system and put my own roof thing on. I'm pretty pumped to try. But anyways, I really need to get these tires because we had a blowout a couple weeks ago, and I didn't know this. Like, no one told me this. No one told me, like, hey, FYI, if you have Tiger King, tires, they're garbage. Don't keep those on your camper. I'm thinking in my head, like, why would you even sell me these tires? Like, why would you even put them on my camper? Why not just tell me, like, hey, FYI, if you want these better tires, you have to pay $500 more now. Okay, fine. I mean, it's like, come on. Yeah.